Yes, Granny. Well, dear, I don't know how the activities coordinator girl copes with all the noise here. It must be very hard on her larynx and voice box. Oh, yes, because it does get so noisy, doesn't it, Granny? I mean, I think, because the kitchen's practically right next door to the lounge with all the clatter of all the cutlery and everything. Then there's the phone calls, incessant conversations, everyone speaking over each other. It really does get significantly noisy. Yes, and she has to speak above it and beyond it all day so that we can hear. Half of us are deaf. I don't know how the poor girl does it. And some of the visitors aren't very considerate. They sit right next to the television or right next to the workshop and speak loudly while you're having your workshop. Oh yes, that's so frustrating. You wonder why and how they could possibly do that. But sometimes the activities girl does say to them, can you please go to the second lounge? We're doing our activities here. Do they take that okay? Well, I mean, most of them do, some of them don't, but never mind, they need to be informed. But I think, some visitors are very good. They lower their voice very quietly, or they go to the second lounge of their own volition, especially when they see others do that. But the best thing really is when they join in the workshops with us. I mean, we want that because it's part of the community building, isn't it? I love coming to the workshops as well. I find them really informative and interesting. So I think the more that relatives do that, the more they can feel part of the place. And also the onus then isn't completely on them to drive the conversation with the resident, especially if they're shut down and withdrawn. Exactly, then they can just sit there with their mother. The activity coordinator's doing a lot of the work and we're all trying our best, and they can just sort of go along with the energy flow and interest of the conversation rather than just having to sit there and drive it along. It can be quite wearing if the other person's not making much effort. So many factors to consider. Is it noisy all day? Pretty much, but there is a time when the nurses change over or hand over, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes, it is quieter then. I've actually remembered that. Yes, because I think the thing is all the nurses go to the back of the nurses' station to do their whatever they have to do to hand over the information. So there's no phone calls ringing or medical trolleys going or clatter in the kitchen. I mean, they're not doing their work. They're doing their work in the way of handing over client, resident knowledge and updates, aren't they? So actual physical noise doesn't happen from them, which helps a lot, so that we're able to have half an hour or so of quiet time and discussing quietly, which is a great help for all of us.